Eye on St. Lucie. I'm Carrie Patrick, your host, and today we have a show that is going to focus on one of St. Lucie Public Schools' core initiatives, that is recruitment and retention of high-quality staff. I'm so fortunate today to have three individuals joining me to discuss this, all three of which have different roles and responsibilities in St. Lucie Public Schools, but all three collaborate very well in order to make the initiative one that is of excellence and very supportive of new teachers and support staff coming into the district. So let me welcome Miss Patricia Cordeiro.
Hi.
So glad you could be here today. You serve the district as the new teacher support specialist, and many people coin you as Miss Shine.
Miss Shine.
And Shine is an acronym that we'll talk about later for a new teacher support system, but so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And we have Mr. Maurice Bonner.
Good morning.
Good morning. You are the Executive Director for Human Resources for St. Lucie Public Schools, and so you've got a very big job, one that's very important. Over 5,000 employees, and we want to make sure that each and every one are of high quality and are supported very well within our district.
Absolutely.
And Dr. Washington, thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Specifically, you are focused on recruitment and retention, and
Correct.
so you are the director for that effort, and three of you together really round out a very solid team. We know that each of you have got some roles, and as we go through the conversation today, perhaps you could just share a little bit about specifically your role in this effort so that we can have a frame for the discussion and people understand how we do work together to accomplish this. Trish?
I am the new teacher support specialist, so any new teachers, first or second year teachers that come in, even third year, I am actively supporting them, making sure they have a mentor going into their schools, helping in their classrooms, setting up professional development.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bonner?
As the person in charge of human resources, my role really is to coordinate with the other districts and other departments at our school district to work with supporting new teachers, making sure we are hiring high quality instructors. I've worked with Dr. Washington in my department and setting up a plan of how are we going to go around the state and work with the colleges and universities as we're looking for new recruits.
Thank you.
And my role as the Director of Recruitment and Retention is to go find the best and the brightest. That's my catchphrase, but we are looking for high quality classroom teachers. Not only classroom teachers, but we're looking for the resource personnel as well. So we're looking for maintenance workers, bus drivers, secretaries, guidance counselors, and in my role, I actually am out and about recruiting those people to come work in St. Lucie Public Schools.
It does take all of us in order to make the experience, the learning experience, one that is very meaningful for our students, interacting with the public and the children. So from the time a child gets on the bus, he's interacting with St. Lucie Public School employees, to the time he goes through the cafeteria line, enters into his first period class. We are all there to support them, so your job is very, very important. Mm-hmm. And I know that recruitment and retention is something that is ongoing throughout the year. It is not just a one-time event. But if there ever is a season for recruitment and retention, this is it. And Mr. Bonner, I know you and your staff are aggressively moving out to universities and colleges in-state and out-of-state to network, make connections. Share with us a little bit about what that process looks like. Why do we go out-of-state and recruit in-state, so that we have an understanding of the vastness of our network for recruiting and retaining employees?
When we look at the 4 areas of focus that the superintendent has laid out for our district, recruitment and retention is one of those areas of focus. And from the human resources perspective, that is always a job that we are working on to ensure high quality staff for our district. So in addition to the just active recruitment of teachers, going out to colleges and universities, visiting job fairs, we are also trying to build relationships with the schools of education in the state of Florida, as that is our main focus. But the reality is there are not enough education graduates in the state of Florida to meet all of our needs as a district. So we do go out of state. We have tried to make those trips strategic in that places where we have recruited before, where we have had applicants who have come and stayed with us as educators. So that's a part of the whole process of going in-state and out-of-state to try to find our needs to help boys and girls.
And I know that recently, some information you shared with me, you talk about meeting with colleges of education. Well, you have a vision for what we need, and you're very in tune with the fact that we are moving forward with our STEM initiatives. So I believe you also made some connections with colleges that focus on science, because not all educators that come into the classroom start out as education majors. We've got people in the career fields of science, engineering, mathematics, technology, reporters, etc. People can come in with skill sets and we can work with them to help them get their certification. And so haven't you made some connections outside the colleges of education?
Yes. One of our recent trips, we went to Texas, and I went to my alma mater, which is Prairie View A&M. Go Panthers. And as a student in the biology department, on that recruitment trip, I actually went back, and some of my professors are still there and teaching those courses. And I had an opportunity to go in and speak with some of the science classes there at Prairie View, and speak with one of my professors who's now the head of the biology department. And we've made some connections there to bring additional biology students. I know that would be at the secondary level, but that has been very important. That's how I was recruited here as a science teacher a few years ago. And one of my classmates is also a professor there now in the biology department. So, and he has a grant working to bring minority males into science. So I have made those connections, and we are continuing to make those kind of connections at the schools that we know have those critical need areas, and Dr. Washington has done the same types of things as he's gone out to his alma mater and some of the other schools that we're visiting in the state of Florida.
That's fantastic, because traditional approaches aren't going to be what we need to make headway into the future. So
Yes.
Your vision is outstanding, and I know that it's going to help us bring in the type of individuals that we need for quality instruction in our schools. With our education system, regularly we have people that are retiring, or perhaps we have someone who has to move out of state, or for other reasons. We do have people that leave either at the end of the year or throughout the year. So each year we do have a pool of people that we bring in. Approximately how many people are we supporting in this recruitment and retention effort each year?
Over the past several years, we have hired approximately 300 new teachers each year for the last several years. To look at our statistical data, we know that those educators that are of the baby boom generation are beginning to leave us and go into their second careers, whatever that may be. And that is a large number of our staff. So we have paid attention to the data as far as who is leaving and where they're leaving. Dr. Washington and I have been out to schools meeting with principals to ascertain what kind of vacancies they're anticipating for the upcoming year. So as we're out recruiting, we have a number of staff that we need to fill. Additionally, Dr. Washington, and I'm going to segue into him, has set up some meetings with staff and community members and our union partners and teachers to look at what other ideas they might have to help us in that recruitment process. So I'd let Dr. Washington share a little bit about that.
We are having 4 meetings, and we're calling it a conversation about recruitment and retention. Our next meeting is April 24th at the district office at 4 o'clock. But in those meetings, we have them in 4 different areas. Recruitment, retention. We recruit wonderful educators to our community. What is it that we do to retain them? So we are having people talk with us in the business area. Restaurants are coming in, community members are coming in, talking about events that happened over the weekend. What is it that we actually could do as a community to keep our teachers here in the community with us? We also are looking at what is it that we as a school district could do to retain quality teachers for us. So those meetings are there. They're once a month at 4 o'clock. We have those dates, and we'll post those dates on our website as well for the community to look at.
Again, collaboration not only within the school but outside of the school, because the individuals that we bring here to the area impact economic development. And St. Lucie County is a wonderful place to live and grow and raise a family. And we want to celebrate all the aspects of our community as well as a quality education system. And I've heard you mention some data points. I've also heard relationships and the importance of that in our recruitment and retention efforts. So much in the same way as teaching is an art and a science, so is our efforts in recruitment and retention, which brings me right over to you, Ms. Shine, because while we have that recruitment taking place, once an educator has decided that this is where they want to exercise their talents and their expertise, they need to be supported, and they need to learn the St. Lucie way so that we can establish very positive relationships and a system of support. That's where you come in with Shine.
Hi.
So why don't you give us a little bit of background?
Well, like you said earlier, my nickname is Miss Shine. I am over the Shine program, and Shine stands for Supportive High Quality Induction for New Educators. And what that is a 2-year induction program for any of our new teachers, beginning teachers, or new to our district. They may have been coming from out of state or out of town, and we support them as soon as they come into the schools. They are assigned a mentor, and that mentor is somebody that we match up with grade level, subject area, as well as looking at personalities and trying to make the best fit for the mentee and the mentor. We have professional development they have on their school sites as well as at the district level. They have ongoing meetings called NEST meetings that are at their school sites once a month, and some schools do it more than once a month, where they meet regularly with the other new teachers in their school, administrations, district personnel are invited to those as well as their mentors. And NEST stands for New Educator Support Team. And those there, we focus those meetings on the needs of those new teachers. It could be district initiatives, it could be school initiatives, anything those new teachers need to feel supported.
Fantastic. And what I heard was some information about teachers coming from out of state, some teachers from in-state. We know we have teachers new to the field of education. We may have teachers returning to the field of education. So in the same way that we have students with differentiated needs, there is most definitely the same parallel. We have teachers that have differentiated needs.
Absolutely.
How do you support all of the various needs that we have?
We offer so many different professional developments on different areas that they need support in. It could be our framework for quality instruction, really good instructional strategies, classroom management, our standards, ESC strategies, anything to really help them in their classroom, as well as all of our online type of services that we have, our resources that we have online as well.
Okay, so now let's take it back to the human resources point of view, because through your lens, you've got to make sure that as the new teacher enters into St. Lucie Public Schools, we're following everything we need to do in regard to certifications and tests and credentials. How do you keep your finger on the pulse and monitor what the needs are, and then support our new teachers from that aspect?
It really is a team effort. The staff in the Human Resources Department does a phenomenal job, and it makes my job so much easier to have high quality staff in my department that I can rely on to help with that whole process. Dr. Washington does a lot of that work, and we'll let him talk a little bit more about that as well, but it really is a team effort.
When new employees are selected to work with us in St. Lucie County, we have the new employee orientation, which happens at least once a month. So from there, we get to know all of the new employees that work for us here in St. Lucie County. And Trish is a part of that with me. She takes the academic STEM of that, and then I take the non-academic STEM, the aides, the bus drivers, the cafeteria workers, and we take them through the St. Lucie way. It is a handbook that we give each of the new employees. Trish spends almost the entire morning working with the teachers, the new teachers, on the framework piece, and I spend the afternoon working with the non-instructional staff on the procedures for St. Lucie County Schools. And from that, we continue to support the new employees. When you get here, you're just not a new employee. You have now joined our family. And relationships is one of the things that we are committed in making sure that every employee that works for us in St. Lucie Public Schools understand that they are a piece of that puzzle. And without them, we would not make it.
Relationships are so vital. Making
Absolutely.
sure that we do promote that idea that we are a family, we are united in our cause, and we all are here for the same reason. And that reason
Right.
is to make certain that our students graduate from our system college and career ready. How we get them there is through our quality instruction framework and the support of others within the district. Now, I heard about the rich and varied offerings that take place in school. You've talked about NEST. You've talked about some of the focus groups that we're doing to gain information. I also know that we've done something a little different this year in order to honor some of the suggestions and requests that came forth last year after talking to our new recruits. So we've got some conferences that take place on Saturdays.
We do.
Called the Shine Conferences.
We do.
What happens during a full day of new teachers coming together?
They come in, it's all day Saturday, like you said. We provide them breakfast and lunch with the support of our business partners and the community. Then they are in all-day professional development sessions. They are, again, learning the framework, learning those instructional strategies, what is online for them as far as the resources there. Classroom management, key, especially for our new teachers. That is one of the biggest areas for them as well that they feel that they need. And they have the choice to choose different sessions that fit their needs as well. And it's just a wonderful time because not only are they learning there, but they're also being able to have that time to make friendships with other teachers throughout the entire district and form those relationships with each other as well as those of us who support them on a daily basis. So it's really wonderful. And they're meeting different business partners out there in the community. We have banks, the Education Foundation, different universities that have come in, Thinking Maps, these different businesses that help us to offer a breakfast or a lunch to our new teachers, but then have the opportunity to speak to our new teachers on what they can offer them in the community. Because like I said, so many of them are new to our area. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for them.
And I see you smiling from ear to ear as you're talking about this opportunity. And gentlemen, I know you've been there as well.
Yes.
It is the aura that exists on those Saturdays is fantastic. You mentioned our businesses that are so supportive, and St. Lucie County is a place for people to come, for people to work in a very rewarding type of environment in our school system. And we need to teach people about the offerings in the county, from our beautiful beaches to our western territories where there are offerings that I know you've organized a very specific field trip that took our new teachers out to our western portions to experience a portion of St. Lucie that was very unique and interesting.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Dr. Washington and I have done some different things this year. We've had a couple of meet and greets where it was just very social. The teachers get together, have some refreshments, and just get to know each other, play some games. And then we decided together that we were going to offer a field trip for our brand new beginning first year, outstanding first year teacher of the year and their mentors, so they can have a full day of building relationships off campus. And we took them to Adams Ranch. And this is out west of town. It was an absolutely fabulous day. It was a gorgeous day. And they took a tour of the entire ranch. We had Mr. Adams himself come out and talk about the history of Florida and the ranch there. Blacksmiths were there, showing how they put the shoe horses on the horses. It was an absolute fabulous day, and Mr. Bonner was there as well. He joined us with all of our teachers. The feedback that we have received has been absolutely phenomenal. They just are thanking us up and down for that opportunity. And I know you guys can probably add a little bit more to that.
What I saw, and being a native Texan, I felt right at home out on the ranch, even had my boots on.
He did.
What I saw was an opportunity to build relationships with our staff, and new teachers got to meet other new teachers and mentors, some of who have been with our district for a number of years, and got to see colleagues that they've worked with before, and building a community with our new teachers, and really then showing them some of the history of St. Lucie County, and those things are important as you live in an area to not only just be at work but know things about your community. So this was just an awesome opportunity, and like Trish said, it was a beautiful South Florida day, and we really thank the Adams Ranch and Bud Adams for giving us that opportunity to come out, and not asking for anything in return other than to share some of St. Lucie County with our new teachers.
And you know what? Nothing talks about the event better than some pictures. And I know that we've got a short little video clip, so why don't we cut to that so our viewing audience can actually see and experience a little bit about what our teachers and you all experienced out there together. Wish I had been able to be out there and experience that as well. Again, smiles on the faces, learning about the history of our area, just engaging with one another and talking about their craft as well as talking and learning about what it means to be a part of St. Lucie. We had some other partners there, Dr. Washington. Why don't you talk about that?
So there's this cliche that says it takes a village to raise a child. So the entire village got together to help educators. Carter's grocery store was just outstanding, and they were a part of all of this. They provided lunch for all of our teachers as well as all the mentors that attended the trip out to Adams Ranch. I want to personally thank Mike Adams because he walked us through this complete system. Right. If there was a question, we could pick up the phone and call him, and he had an answer for us. This is the kind of activity that we need to continue to provide for our teachers. Right. Not only did it give them an opportunity to build relationships with their mentor, but it taught them some information about Florida, particularly Fort Pierce. And we were excited to provide that opportunity to all of our quality educators.
That is wonderful. So I think we've definitely focused on the point that St. Lucie County as a community has so much to offer. And what draws people to a community is a quality education system. We have a quality education system in St. Lucie built upon the foundation of quality educators. And that is a unified effort between you guys, our community, and others within the district. So, Mr. Bonner, if someone is listening and they are interested in perhaps an opportunity in St. Lucie Public Schools, what are the steps for them to fill out a job application and start becoming involved as a St. Lucie Public School employee?
Sure. When anyone is interested in applying for positions with us, we post all of our jobs that we have available on our district website. You just go to the St. Lucie Public Schools and go to the website. When you click on the Human Resources tab or Jobs at the top of the web page, takes you right to the application. The staff and my department has created a little tutorial that applicants can look at to walk them through the process, just for those people who maybe don't have those great technology skills but are learning, and for those who are very technologically proficient, pretty simple process, but all of those things that you would do on a paper and pencil application are all there on that online application. Once they complete that application and submit any documents that are required, our principals and administrators in different departments have immediate access to see their applications. They can begin that review process and begin to have phone calls and interviews and give them an opportunity to come and work with us.
Okay. And I believe that we have contact information for both you and Dr. Washington. We're going to put that on the screen right now. And while that is there, I'd just like to comment that walking into the Human Resources foyer, I definitely see your staff very welcoming and warm. I see them many times sitting down with people at the computer for those that may need a little bit more guidance through that system of applying for a job. So we want to stress the fact that there's always the opportunity to do that online individually. If you need help, please call our offices, because we're so willing to be there to support in any way that we can.
Absolutely.
And so if we have teachers that are in the classroom and perhaps they've got their nest meetings and they've got their mentor at their school site, but maybe there's this little question out there. I know that your phone is always open. You respond so quickly to emails. How could people go about getting a hold of you if there's just a little piece that they feel like Miss Shine is the person to help me with this?
Miss Shine. They definitely, absolutely should email me or call me. Email is probably the best way. But either way, I will get back to them, and whether that is just to answer a question or maybe it is to go into their classroom and help them with something particular, whether it's to observe them or whatever their needs may be.
Okay. And so we're going to put your contact information on the screen
Okay.
as well. Always very, very aware of what we need to do to help support our teachers. And while our folks at home are jotting down your contact information, I'd just like to remind everyone that St. Lucie Public Schools does have a commitment to being focused on student achievement and making certain that there is excellence in everything that we do. We do that by making sure that we are recruiting and retaining high-quality staff for the sake of providing high-quality instruction in very safe and caring environments. If you haven't already done so, please download the St. Lucie Public School app. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter for up-to-date, real-time happenings in your St. Lucie Public Schools.